Hi guys, it's Roxanne here from Rox's Cards and Crafts, admin for Cricut Connect and the Cricut Expression group for the older legacy machines. So I'm making some cards and I came across, because I always share my cards and I always get a lot of questions on how do I do this. So the best way that I like to explain, because I admin started my own Facebook group, is just to show you. And today this one's about this happy label, and I like using it on cards. So you can see the font that I've used is called Fauntleroy Brown, and I like the way this one turned out, only I don't really like the Y, but I'm sticking with it for now because I just made a whole heap of labels as per what you can see on the card that I popped up. So what the difference between this is how it comes in and this is what I made it look like. And the reason I make it look like a stencil is because it has to go on. I'm not using it as a font where we can use as a, what would you go, like a word. I'm using it as a title on a bit of cardboard. I use all sorts of things. So in able to do that, you need to create a bridge where most of the letters have got, you know, the innards to them. And it's very easy. I actually did this one in Shortcuts a Lot 6, which is a new release, but that is a paid program, so I'm going to try and give you free advice. So having said that, in my other tutorials I've said to you to just go and download what we call UWP, I think it's called. I always forget. I'm gonna just install that again. See if it gives me the name. So it's loading the fonts, and this is a character map for Windows. Look, I can leave a link for you behind. So it will help you pick it out. So I've got Fauntleroy Brown, and I put all mine in, like I've got DeFont, so I'll find him in there. Okay. And I'm going to go happy because this one's got a capital HAPPY. But as you can see, what's happened is the P's are different. And in a normal font, this is why I picked this font, because if you go back, so come back down here to the happy and backspace 3 times. If you actually scroll down, you will see that P here. So double click and double click again, and it will go down there. Now, you won't be able to get that if you're just doing this on Design Space. So this is another way to use something that's free and to help you with your own system fonts. I'm going to go and find a simple Y. Let's just use this one. And what you'll see down here is copy. Alright, so it's called Fauntleroy Brown. You have to remember the name. So we're going to, let's just scroll up here a bit. Let's go to our text box, and we're going to go happy. Now what we're going to do is go to the text box, but make sure your font is in. So you're going to go in to your fonts, go to System, just type in font, FONTL, it should come up. Select it, then close it. Alright, then go to your text. Okay, so I'm just going to make that bigger. Now if you double click on that, it should highlight. Then hit your Control key on your keyboard and select V, and it should come up for you. Okay, So there are those big P's. Next step. Now we have. So what I need to do now is I need to highlight that happy, go to advance and ungroup the letters. Because what I need to do is now turn this the A and the P's into a stencil, so that what they need is that bridge. So we're going to go to the shapes, select the square, let's bring it down here, change the color, unlock padlock so that we can maneuver that around. So we're going to start with the A. Don't want it too thick, but you don't want it too thin, because if it's too thin it won't be very good to cut. So you've got, let me show you, I'm just going to go a bit closer. What you've got is from there to there, but what it does is leaves this bit here. So you will have to probably make sure that you either move it over there and make that a bit thinner, which is probably what I would do. Let's just do that. Or you could slant it like that, which I don't like. So I'll just undo that slant. I'm going to move it over so that it marries up to this corner down here. Then I'm going to hold my shift key, select my A and use the slice tool. And there you have just made yourself the bridge for your stencil. Okay, so with the P's, instead of starting here and just putting your bridge through there, in Design Space it's probably quicker and easier to do it starting at the top of the P and to the bottom of the P. So get the size, it's 4.919 in height. So get a shape and a square. I'll make this a different color just so that you can see. You don't have to. Uncheck your padlock and bring it in to form along and make it, what was it, 4.919. So make the height 4.919. So we want it to be exactly the same as the height of the P. Now I'm going to make sure they're both highlighted, and I just want to align it to the top. Alright. That way, what happens there is if you did a short one, you'll get a bit of a ridge. This way the P will have a nice straight line. So we're going to highlight both the P and that yellow stroke, and we're going, okay, for some reason it's attaching itself to this. I'm going to get that out of the way. There you go. And then we're going to go slice. So really you only need to do one. So you can get rid of the other one. I'm just going to delete that and then just duplicate that one. So you're doing it twice. Okay. Put that over there. So I'm just going to come out of it so you can see it a bit better. And place these wherever you want. I mean, you can make it go up there, the A I'm talking about, but if you wanted to make it nice and classy looking, So let's align them center vertically. So that'll give me that what I need with the A and the P and the P. I need those to look. But with this guy I can just bring him down so that the bottom of the Y looks the same as these guys. Then bring the happy over, the H over. I want that to be the same as the top of the P's. So I'm just going to go select the shift key on my keyboard, select the P and then the P, then go align and top. Perfect. They're nicely spaced. Let's bring that one out a bit. Nicely spaced because they are going to be shrunk. This is quite big, but I'm going to shrink that down. So it's always good to design it while it's larger. I might go to combine and unite. Let's see what that does. Because then I think if you welded it, okay, you can't go back in, but if you unite it, undo, unite. Get your square. Unlock your padlock and go 2.5 okay, by 1.75. Okay, I'm going to change the color. You don't have to. Then I want to shrink that, bring it to the front, and shrink it so that it sits nicely on your piece of square there, which represents your cardstock or represents your stencil. I might make it a little bit smaller. Okay, I'm going to select both of those and I want it to be in the center. Okay. No, I want it to be, let me go center horizontal. So for the birthday, now I got this from Cricut Access. Yes. So I'm going to go up to the font, Cricut, and it's BFC. Now if you haven't got Access, it'll probably cost you about $7.99 USD, sorry, US dollars. I'm not quite sure how much that is in Australian. I haven't taken the time to work that one out for you. So I'm going to go BFC. Let's try flannel shirt. I think that was the one I used. Close that. And I'm just going to double click on that and go birthday. Because this is in writing style, and this is the thing I like about, well, it's lucky Access have got this because I do a lot of writing on my cards in Design Space using my Explore Air 2, and I can bring in my fonts, but they've taken away the ability to use those fonts, which I have complained to them several times, and of course they assure me they'll look at it, but they never get back to you. Surprise, surprise. So with that, I only had a little one. I might make it a little bit bigger. So what I want to do is select the happy, shift key, and select the orange card. Go over here. Okay, and we're going to slice. So I'm just going to delete. I want to keep one of those. Okay, and there's your happy. Let's put that to the back because it is hidden the words. Arrange, send to back. Then I'm going to highlight all that and attach the words. And that's all there is to making this. Now, if you want a backing behind it, you can either make a little shadow base behind it. See, I don't like this. Why do they have to muck around with design space? Group. All right, I've got one behind this already. Okay, so I've just made one the same size and popped it behind, or you could make that one a bit bigger. Just offset it, just to give you an idea. And you can have a border around it like that. Bye for now, and if there's anything else that I can help you with, please let me know. Bye for now.